We are live. Hello,
Uh,
Dave.
Good evening. How are we today?
Good. Let's get the game on the screen. We can
Excellent.
see what is with this view.
As always, we are hoping to see nothing but dead elves and monstrous orcs stomping their heads into the ground. If anyone carries the ball, I'll be very disappointed. Except, well, I'm always disappointed with elves, as you well know. And
Yes.
I would hate for anyone to think there'd be a smidge of bias in this game. Got to tell you now, there's going to be utter and complete biases in this game. Hope the elves lose, and I hope they lose hard, and all of them are killed. What's your opinion on the teams today? If you say orcs aren't the best, I will be disappointed in you.
Well, I mean, I think it was very hard to call in advance, and I think it remains very hard to call. The both teams are at full strength, which is a big deal. This deep in the season, we're in the quarterfinals. Will had Will has taken a
We'll have.
bribe, and I that's it.
Yeah. The team's values were very close. I think Will had the lower one at 1960. I think the Filthy Dark Elves were 210 or something, 2010, something like that. I'm not sure. I didn't really care about them too much. So I'd say Will spend some of his own delicious cash money to stomp an elf's face into the ground when he put him down. Probably save for one of the two witch elves, who are by far the best pieces on CaolanG's team. And I'm not just saying that because they're really good at punching things, but they have an enormous amount of skills as well. There's a goblin on that orc team. Is that a black orc not on the pitch? Ah, for
That is a black orc on the sub bench.
an unskilled black orc. That is sad. I am saddened by that.
Why is my camera? Oh, right, that was the animation. The leap
Uh,
animation confused me for a second. Oh, that is a
I'm
fence.
man
That is a
already.
surfed black orc. As I was not paying attention for 2 seconds because of that is. I mean, that has to feel. That feels like It feels like a misstep, really. Yes, my bit rate is fluctuating at the moment. It seems to be steadying at about 3 to 500, so hopefully... I know it's down to 200 now. We'll just have to see. Let's talk about the game. Worst case scenario is the VOD will be a much higher quality later on.
Okay. I assume that's technical babble for you know what you're doing, and I have no clue. I don't think that was a misstep. I think that was a very deliberate play by the elves to put an orc on the pitch. Fortunately, the no fans that are here really love orcs, as they should, and did nothing to him, so he's just into the subs bench. The Becky is the. If I had to pick a favorite elf, it would be Becky, because she's got the +1 strength, she's got block, she's got tackle, she's got mighty blow, and sidestep as well. So she's much harder to put down than anything else. So she should hopefully murder something if the elves actually do get around to breaking delicious armor 9 on the orc. The orcs have gone for a two-throw strategy and not a full team of black orcs. I think I miscounted earlier and thought they'd only two. They only have two skilled black orcs. That Big Papa 2 is obviously and for Big Papa, who was killed for not being worky enough. It's the only reason I can see him being put down. He's going in deep into this game. I'm not 100% sure who's the favourite on this. I think I have played them both and lost to both of these teams, either in friendlies or in a league game, so I'm not really one to comment on who is most likely to win. But the orcs will hopefully beat the living crap out of the elves, because they deserve it, because they play a passing game, and that's just not what Blood Bowl is about. Is that which elf at the back, Becky, or is which one has the Stanford? No, none of them is Stanford. Which one is the agility elf there, by the way? Which elf? I'm not sure. Yes, die. Horrible. No, it's a stun, I think. Took too long to land. It's easily a stun. Disappointed once more. And that is not the frenzy orc against the thing, but that's a strength Jacinta, so that is Becky, I believe. Jacinta has Mighty Blow, +1 agility, +1 movement. Technically speaking, the better piece, but is mostly there to grab the ball and run away, so obviously the worst of pieces. While my favorite orc has just moved back with Strength Frenzy Tackle, nothing getting past that guy. As I am not sure if... Ooh, a blitz with a line. Oh, dirty player block, foul. Trying to put the S. Kill her. Kill her straight away. Go on. Go on. Go on. Get her.
Oh,
Broke
there was an
armor.
armor break. Just a stun.
Yeah. So which team are you looking to win? Or which one did you put money on again at the start of the game? I can't remember. And who
Well,
did you bribe to
I
lose
mean, I'm
profit
hoping Caolan wins. You know, just because he's my man. You know, but I'm not going to be biased too much in whatever I have to say here. I think it's it's kind of following the action along and seeing. I mean, right now, chat is mainly talking about the fact that for whatever reason, my internet just cannot handle streaming. Somebody with a better internet and setup is possibly going to have to take over because it just doesn't seem to work, which is annoying. But you know, the videos on demand are there, and then maybe Vodafone customer service have got an answer for me, but nobody seems to know. You know, doesn't make sense right now.
That is a bit odd, and that is very unfortunate because there's a lot of work being put into these in the background, and I believe you tested this as well to make sure that it works.
Well, it works fine in the day, and it worked fine last night. It just seems to vary a lot, you know.
Is the common feature, and what I don't like to say this, is the common feature me?
I don't know. I don't think it should make any difference. No, you're just chatting on Discord. It makes no difference your connection to Discord.
Okay, no worries. No. Again, my ignorance of how computers work has come to the fore and shown to be not at fault. Everyone is happy today. Except for the streamers who can't actually see anything. But I don't particularly mind because orcs hopefully will murder elves, but the elves get a chance to punch the orcs at the moment. There is an elf called Ralph who has block, dodge, and +1 agility. So Caolan is running with 2 agility 5 pieces on the board, and I believe one of them, who's Becky, has Jacinta has leap, and she is currently stunned on the ground. I can't see the orcs are putting as much pressure on the elves as possible since their stupid dodging ways means it's difficult to actually pin them in place to beat them up, but nothing we can do about that. Just hopefully they fail, roll lots of double ones, and hope the ground catches them. Who is playing away at the moment? Who's playing at home? Do you know?
I think Caolan is home. His name is first, and I think that's how it works in the
yes
format.
One again. Absolutely disgusting. I also believe that Caolan is too cheap to upgrade a stadium and get a proper inducement on that one. So that's why we're seeing a bare bones stadium here with no one turning up because they killed the elves. And they like the grass nice and soft, so that's why he didn't die there. Once again, disappointment. Proven through by the elves. Not much we can do on that. And that is hopefully nothing too bad for the orc who doesn't do... Oh, no. A stunned orc. He's not going to be able to face the coach if he gets back tomorrow. Getting stunned by an elf. It's just not right. Caolan having loose cage on his ball carrier. He's moving up. He's got 3 wrestle pieces on the pitch, which is not great for defending it, but not letting orcs punch you. Your ball carrier is probably the best defense you can expect. And he's also not making the mistake of the last game I watched by going down the wing and getting squeezed by Chaos players, mostly because there's no Chaos players on this pitch at the moment. Elfie 3. +1 strength, frenzy, and tackle. That is my favorite piece. Back down by the apple for the Orc Guard Thieves. Hopefully coming up to kill Jacinta or Becky. Either one is good as long as they die. Not 100% sure what. Oh, he threw a block. That is a surprise. I thought he'd thrown all his blocks for this half as he ran the Witch Elf away when he had the chance. And that Orc got knocked down. He'll get up again. He also has Crow, which gives the Orcs 4 rerolls for only the cost of half of one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop streaming into Discord.
Okay.
So you'll have to hop over to the client. You'll have to wait. You can't commentate live on that. You know, you have to wait a bit and then talk about what has just happened.
Okay. How long to wait? About?
Well, I mean, you won't be in sync, so you just have to give it, a long enough time that you're not spoiling things before they happen. You know.
No bods. Yeah. I'll go across to the client, so I will see you in a bit.
I'm not. Yeah, it will make a difference. It will make a difference to the stream. So, in terms of, we're only on turn 2 for the Orcs. They've had their Black Orc surfed. No, their Blitzer was surfed. Their Edge Blitzer, indeed. Now, just before the game, Will purchased a Goblin, Superfly. Obviously, with the throw teammate move in mind. Perfectly team efficient, TV efficient rookie Goblin. And so far no damage to the elves, so Caolan has to be pretty happy.
And I'm back. Is everything working over there in Twitch land?
Well, yeah, no significant improvement on the bit rate since not streaming into Discord, but we're trying it. We're trying it. Watching it via Blood Bowl is probably via Cabal Vision is where you want to be. Are you in Cabal Vision?
I'm in Cabal Vision, and I believe the Orcs just punted Maxwell into the ground. Hopefully that has turned up on Twitch, and unfortunately no one was hurt during that. But it's early games yet. It's only the second turn. So
yeah, you're probably behind. Yeah, you're a bit behind, but that's okay. So you can commentate as you see things.
Yeah. I am able to commentate as I see things. The troll just punched someone. I think we're waiting for the elves to finish their action, the orcs to finish their actions.
We can do a little sync when I see something fun happen. And see when you see.
Yeah, if you yeah, and that will give me something to work with. Well, of course, I could just continuously sing the praise of the orcs, but that will get that's pretty much self-evident. Or I could continuously give out about the elves, but that's that never gets old, but it can get tiring. There's only so many ways you can insult them before you start repeating yourself, and they're really not worth the time. The troll has guard, which is not bad, but not usual for only one skill. But then all he needs to do is hang around and get hit in the head, which isn't too bad. Oh, excuse me, how rude. Almost as rude as the elf was to that catcher. How dare she put down a better person onto the ground than herself. Shouldn't even turn up to these matches if all they're going to do is punce about with the ball. Not even have the common decency to be killed if they're getting hit in the head. And as the orc team is quite strung out, actually, I'm not 100% sure how Will plans to... that was an unusual block. Put the catcher into base with the troll, which frees the Will from having to put a piece in there because he'll avoid getting really stupid. This is the namby-pamby ways of the elves, and not much I can do about it. What is the distance? So the ball carrier can be hit technically, but it's highly unlikely, as Will would have to dodge away from punching someone to do it, and that just goes against the orc credos. So Leo has got sidestep, so there is no I thought there was a surfing on, but there's no grab, so there's no surfing on. Was that a double failed? Go for it.
Looks like a snake eyes on the go for it, yeah.
Yeah. While that would have been considered bad luck, it's just desserts for the elves for playing elves. You deserve Nuffle's hatred and mine.
I mean, it was the last. It was basically the last move, or it was quite a late move.
Is this your bias? You're considering it being fair play, aren't you?
Yeah,
I'm trying to give a
balance
thing here, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm calling the strategy equally for both teams.
Yeah, you know? That is elf bias if I ever heard it, and I would prefer if you didn't such kindness and generosity to the pointy-eared freaks, and you know, just started hating them like any good right-thinking fungoid. So the ball carrier is not likely to be punted, as there's a bunch of gophers to get in there. If he is probably wondering whether or not Elf Meter, his troll, should risk a block against Quinnington, as a push would get him within guard, and then a dodge. There's a lot of dice to roll to try and get a block on the ball carrier, but it is possible. But if he goes for it and it fails, his pieces are out of position. So it might just be better to punch elves in the head. Yeah, what am I saying? It's always better to just punch elves in the head. Do we know who got fame, by the way?
Yeah, CaolanG got the fame.
Of course he got the fame. Stupid Elvish supporters. Home ground, I don't think there's no one in the home ground. They shouldn't have gotten fame because they're elves, but then again, I think I'll stop on doing that. Wow, that's Black Orc block. Where you know? Oh, okay, that was interesting move. Once again, not an expert on elves, but I think, yeah, no, that's another gopher for the lineman to base the current ball carrier, and that will be a 2-up to dodge away. I'm going to actually have to do actual commentating on how these guys want to play. It is a bit interesting that the orc player has 2 throwers in his team. as there's quite a bit of debate on whether that's worth it. And he has both of them on the defense. Now that could be because they both have block and are harder to put down.
Yeah, I think that the last game with Will, the opponent targeted his blockless Bob, and
yes,
got a lot of joy doing that. So I think I'm not sure it's the right decision to bench the Black Orc, even without block. It feels like that feels very non-orky.
Yes, it is a very disappointment that he gave the position up to a thrower, especially his strength 4 agility for dodge thrower, who is in risk of getting killed in CaolanG Drive if he has the opportunity. While the Black Orc is there just to take a punch to the head and can be used to at least knock down one or punch one as necessary. He's also not a bad piece to nurse mind the throw, as he's got nothing else to do since he can't reliably block his way through elves, which is, I must admit, he might have him on the bench to share him from being the shame of not actually being able to throw blocks against elves, especially such a high TE elves. But we can see later. Good job with the troll, freaking lifting that oh no, never mind, that Langer head dodge. My mistake. But he doesn't have guard. And there is a guard piece in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he could punt the ball carrier and it would be glorious. But it is a 3-up dodge, but I don't see the elf being stopped by that blitzer. And he could move the loner, the Rory, the lineman with block, and Crow around to a more advantageous position later on. Oh, he blitzed with him. He blitzed with him. Oh, that is an interesting. He saw the elf go for it on a double one, and he went, "Not is not for me." But he has put the ball carrier down in the ball carrier's half. And a catch.
Catches.
What sort of work is this? Friggin' get him lightning bolted. Get him off the pitch. No self-respecting orc catches the ball in a tackle zone. I'm assuming you're going to say, wah, Elves got unlucky, wah, there was a 1 and 8, blah, blah, blah. But he is gone down to the wire here, with only 1 second left to play. Is that what you were going to say, by the way, or were they putting words in your mouth? Russell was put to good effect. He could stand up, dodge away, put an extra tackle zone on that ball carrying line orc to try and knock him down. It has gone fairly wrong for the Dark Elves, but I'm pretty confident he can recover. But his main 2 pieces for punching orcs are on the wrong side of the orcs at the moment. But it shouldn't be too hard for an elf to get through to give support and blitz and all sorts of bad things to the orc player. Stand up, a simple 2+ dodge to a free 2 dice block on him to get another frenzy, 2 dice block, another blitzing 2 dice block on him. We shall see what we shall see. He's took a 2 dice dodge there to make a block on a strength 4 orc. Interesting. I don't think that's what he's planning on doing. I do wonder what CaolanG is doing. Hopefully he's losing horribly, but I know he wants to win, which seems...
So he's going to try 2 dice wrestle, gets the full pow.
Yes.
Pushing it in a direction where there isn't as many it's slightly harder recovery. Not impossible. He's going to have to do some elf stuff. And also, it's hard to see him make the ball safe.
I was actually surprised he moved Mickey, the blitzer with the blodge sidestep first, because he had to go through a tackle zone to do that. And that would have burnt a reroll if he'd failed. If he's going to go through a tackle zone at any point, I would have done it with the blitzing piece. But this actually expected him to dodge out to help cover the ball, but he did use it just to get a knockdown on this orc, which isn't a bad idea. Punching is always better than going for the ball, but what I expect a Dark Elf Scum to do is go for the ball rather than the proper punching. I can't. This is a problem now with the Thor. He's up against a Strength 4 frenzy block tackle thing, and if he goes down, oh wow, he just didn't go for the punch.
No, he's got to
How
get the ball. That's the recovery.
disappointing. He had a clear opportunity. Again, I know he's going for the ball. Get over it. But he had a clear opportunity to put down an armor 8 guy who's important to the thing. And instead of going for the murder, death, kill, blood, he went for Ponzi Baller.
Oh.
Disappointing. Ooh, 2 dice uphill with double skulls. Will he take it or not?
No, prefer not to take a... He's already lost one blitzer, which is injured or KO'd. That's just KO'd. But he is down a blitzer. He didn't feel like risking being down 2 blitzers. He has got to start to think about moving forwards. Now the orcs are pretty spread out, and the elves will find that better for them. But he's going to have to move soonish. He can't afford to get blitzed again, really. Well, I guess he can, but he'd much prefer to be blitzed in the orcs' half than his own half. I think that's key.
Yeah, that is key. And putting down that Strength 4 frenzy piece makes it harder for the orcs to get off because the ball carrier, Becky, is actually Strength 4. The only piece that would be worth anyone's time on the elf place as better at punching things, Strength 4. But his own Strength 4 piece that might get to is not only down, but also tagged, which makes it well dodgy for an orc to get there. He is making good use of the sidestep, as that's very, very annoying for any orc player who doesn't have grab to deal with. But it is interesting, and the Becky, I think, is in distance to be punted, but not really. The orcs would have to go back. So I actually think Becky is is well protected against this team, and using the maximum ability of the elves to position up. But whether or not the orcs can take advantage of this number game does not appear to be the case at the moment. He has one free blitzer with guard who can come down and make a nuisance of himself. Nah, freaking deserved that. There were closer elves to punch, and you had to go all the way down the pitch. That is a disappointment to everyone involved. And you're ready to reroll, so down you go. That does leave the elves free to move up. So I do fancy the elves scoring in this half at the moment. His troll will not be active, but he's a good 9 square tackle zone right there. With the current ball, but I can't see the elves having too much trouble with that going down the flank, and with Mickey, the sidestepping blodging, being free at the moment to run straight down or move across. Should think, but I don't. Is there a scoring threat at the moment with the elves?
Well, he doesn't need it quite yet. He just needs to get somewhat stabilised midfield, and he can develop a couple of scoring threats. Will has been doing a pretty good job of menacing any scoring threats that anybody past the half line. But I do think that there's dodge away opportunities for most of these elves in the middle here. It's changed it a little bit.
That has indeed.
But not radically, I mean, we roll 2s. That's what it's going to be about, I think.
That last block was, I was actually thinking it was a bit of a dodgy one, but no, it was grand because it was the last one of the thing, and a turnaround there where the elf if he rolled skull, wouldn't have mattered too much with the position of the elf. Could have come over to give some support, but his The central pieces wouldn't do much there. It looks like Caolan might be switching over, but it's hard to tell because he actually can go anywhere he wants at the moment.
Well, I mean, there's such a amount of space on the left. If he can get even a 2 or 3 elf screen, it's not going to be possible for the orcs to catch him.
No, they're too slow, and the elves are too hard.
I mean, I think moving Painton around to provide a sort of blocking means that this elf can't just walk up the pitch on a 2-up. Oh, the pass fails. I think he has to put the reroll. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, he has to put in the reroll on that one.
It gets the 2. Alignment has already moved. I was thinking he'd be more of part of the screen, but it's tricky.
It is tricky. Where is he going to get an elf to put in the screen over there? The only other one was the one that's blocking the Mighty Blow Guard Blitzer.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, I probably would have been looking at a 3, organising my pieces so it would be a 3-up pass, so then you're screening and passing to a guy behind the screen. But it would have failed. So Caolan playing conservatively for the pass distance, but he's got to do a lot more work now. And now here's a pretty effective scoring threat.
Yeah, she is very good at
nice full pow on the black orc.
Not dead, as you should come to expect.
That makes this escape. Oh, he chooses to block. Yeah, okay. Better for his general position. So there's now 3 scoring threats. And whilst there are 3 orcs, none of them have tackle. So not super strong. And he's got the dodge away. So that's the 3-up, which is the harder. And he's failed his first dodge roll. So now this second dodge roll is 2. He chooses not to make the second dodge roll and just leave him there as a roadblock. And it fails. Oh, it's a lot of fails.
It is a lot of fails. That stun isn't going to do him any favours, but that piece was locking down the strength 5 one, but he can technically get to the ball. But it's unlikely as 1, 2, 3. As there's a bunch of dodges to try and get across there, but he is strength 4 friendly. If he's able to do it, it's a good one. And a beautiful opening block that did nothing, which is not a fault of the orc player, but appreciated all the same for the bloodlust that it shows. As Caolan making good use of the sidestep to be really, really, really irritating to the orc player, as that dirty player wrestle piece can't really leave now, as he is tagged by the elf. Caolan might have made the right moves to get around this. We can only hope he didn't, as no elf should be rewarded for filthy elf play. But what should happen and what is happening are two very different things. As the orcs have to get a player onto the left this turn, or the elves will just disappear and hug the ball. Kari are asking for it because they all love the ball a little too much. I did look at the stats earlier, as expected. Frenzy, strength 4, moving down to the centre of the pitch. I did look at the stats. The orcs have thrown more blocks than the elves, despite what anyone would lie to you about. Just so you're aware.
Yeah, so the question from chat of why all the Dark Elf hate. So just for clarity, Dave is LARPing as an orc.
Yes.
Which can be a little off-putting, but just understand.
Yeah.
He really gets into it.
Yes, I don't. There's a couple of things. One, yes, this isn't actually true, as next season I believe I am playing Dark Elves, so you'll see a lot more superiority complex if I'm commenting that season. Caolan has ripped me enough that I can rip him back. It's not just Dark Elves I hate, it's all elves, just happens to be Dark Elf playing. It's against my favourite team, which are the Orcs, as they're the team I played things. So this is it didn't matter what team was up against the Orcs, I beat the Orcs. And yeah, if you want me to stop, I can.
No, carry on. I think it's fair to make the note.
Yes, yeah. For those of you who don't know me, that was always AG4. That's still not great play by the orc as he dodged away from a guy he could just punch without much effort.
Wrestle.
But he has taken the ball down.
Yeah.
No, is that a push?
He chooses the push instead
Oh.
of the wrestle because the elf can stand straight back up again. Also, this gives him the second chance at the block, but that's going to be a wrestle as well.
Yeah.
Not caught by the elf. Bounce. Well, it's one tackle zone. And there is a dark elf. There is a witch elf, I should say.
Yeah, a witch elf with tackle and strength 4. So that wrestle piece can stand up. He can move an elf in there to give him +1 die to get the 1 die for the wrestle to move him down, and then move the strength 4 elf around to make it more annoying. There's options there for Caolan, but it was good play by the orc player to get the ball. I appreciate the violence inherent in the system.
Yeah, I mean this is turn 6. Well, look, there's plenty of options for the elves still. They're elves. Slightly frustrating there. He really would have liked to get the knockdown so he could make some progress. As it is, I mean, he can dodge away easily enough.
I think he might have to, because that orc, tagging the orc is about worth your time as tagging an elf. It's not going to do much in having that piece dodge away. But the issue there is, I don't believe she has. Oh, she has dodge, so that's a free reroll. I think it might be worth the risk, especially as you said. There's only 4 turns left for him to score, 3 turns left for him to score, including this one.
Yeah, so using the witch elf as a trying to form some sort of defense for where this ball is eventually going to end up. It is tricky. He's got the strength 5 sweeping at the moment. Wherever, so the massive space, it's still a massive space, but it has a strength 5 or blitzer in the middle of it now.
It's a strength 4 blitzer, I believe. But yep.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, strength 4. Strength 4. Still very nice. Getting my strengths mixed up.
Strength 4, frenzy tackle. There's not much pieces on Caolan's team who would like to go toe to toe with that monster, and that is why we love him so much.
So what I think might happen here, we'll see, is if he can get the ball via a handoff or a short pass to that witch elf and base pretty much everything else. That's interesting. I felt like he probably had enough cover at that point. Oh, I see. Right, of course. So he's not protecting. He's not putting the ball in the wish. Yeah. Roughly the right. This is the better version of what I was thinking. Make a little pocket of kind of a half cage. Now, what I was thinking about is having the ball on the witch elf because the tackle makes it not so great. But it would be potentially 1 dice into 1 dice. For the strength 4 blitzer, which is not a good option, but it may be, he's banking on people taking it. But as it is, he has defended. Now 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 go for it gives him 2 dice with tackle on Mickey, if I'm not totally mistaken, and I think he's gonna have that now.
Yes, I was. I checked that. I was surprised. The wrestle piece, Antil, Alt, Lil, the guy with wrestle and who's got a niggling injury who isn't being punched enough, could have made a go for it to tag him down. I don't think that piece where he is as good as positioning as further up. I know he's stopping orcs running through, but there's a sacrificial Dark Elf lineman doing that job and a not so sacrificial Witch Elf that she has an Apoco for.
Yeah, and
It
just
does
quietly,
mean
that
that.
was another Snake Eyes there
Okay.
on the inbuilt dodge roll. It's been a rough match. Psycho Works there in chat pointing out that the Dark Elf dice definitely felt not as good. Still on the balance, and all he has to do really is score any time, and he's good. Because yes, as throw teammate, it's pretty unreliable.
It also means you have to put a goblin on the pitch, and any of you who've been playing this league should know my feelings on goblins.
Yeah, well, it won't be on there for long. Either way.
Either way, that will be good. I just like to see goblins getting eaten more than like to see elves being put into the ground. While the chat are probably right about the dice, and in a fair world, I would agree with them. I think in this world, the elves are getting diced no more than they deserve. They have absolutely no right to eat that because they're elves. That wasn't a dodge roll. That was me missing.
Yeah, he goes for the go for it, bringing guard in to both players, giving him blitz options. I mean, I can't see much around him blitzing with one GFI, the 2 dice on the ball. He's got the reroll. He's got the GFI. Like
Yeah.
The GFI fails. He's gonna put in the reroll. He gets the reroll, and he gets the tackle pow. Now he might try and pick this up. Oh no, he can't dodge away.
No, it wouldn't be. It's not worth the risk. He's better off where he is.
I wasn't paying attention to the follow. Well, he has got frenzy, so he has the auto follow. Now he needed to get that first turn right. The guard coming in, but still, I'm not sure that would have helped in that position.
Guard coming in wouldn't have helped because of the sidestep. If he'd only gotten a push, that elf would have been away, or he would have handed off with a plus pickup.
Yeah, I think that was. I think that was lucky. Or the dirty player with 0 assists.
0 assists shows you the joy of punching elves in the head. It's glorious. That was an important. It wasn't too important with 2 turns left.
It made a difference. Having multiple scoring threats floating around downfield, big worry.
Indeed, I think CaolanG can still score with Donny if the Black Orc unable to catch up.
Well, he has 2 turns, so he has. I mean, he's got to get the ball up, and he's got to. Now there's no reroll for this.
Yes, but he was trying to go for it, run further, and run anything. So I'm not too upset that he tripped over, but he had the chance to punch Dark Elf, so he probably shouldn't have. I think CaolanG can get Donnie into position, get Mickey to pick up the ball, and pass it off, and should be in all things being equal, the elves should be able to score it. He would need to continue his string of bad luck not to be able to score.
He has slightly above. I don't know what the chances are overall, but it feels like it's somewhere around 70% chance to score. It's a good chance, but there's also a very sizable chance that he gets stopped. This is the crunch moment, I think, because it's very difficult to see going into second half unless there's a blitz and if the orcs can cage up, Vengabus or just generally grind their way down the pitch. It's very hard to see. Well, then again, these witch elves are very good. Oh, there is a massive swing.
That is a big hit.
Can he Apo this? He does Apo this. There's a bit of a pause. it's a miss next game, which you know, in many regards, is the same as being dead, because in this kind of format, you know, you're going up into the semi-final without him. You've got to get to the final. Maybe he comes back.
Yeah, that's true. That'll work. I don't think it was the wrong call to play because he was strength 4 Frenzius, and a very important piece to his game plan. But
well, huge risk, really. The big conversation we've been having the last few games is the power in this format of appoing a badly hurt, because you are guaranteed that they will go into subs. Oh my god. That's rough, because now the I believe the Edge 4 is lurking, and you know, shouldn't be too hard to make that one tackle zone. The ball is in the Orc's hands. Oh, there's the other blitzer, and that one is off. Now that's mixed. That's 50% fail. Doesn't take it. Waits for the badly hurt.
Yeah, two different philosophies on that particular one. As you said, in this next game, might as well be dead and injured in this one because you'll need your full team for the next one. That was very unfortunate for CaolanG to fail.
Yeah, that particular dice of a 2-up was critical. Of course, you know, it's not over yet, but this is now the final turn. Quentin is theoretically, technically in range. It's not a good option. Becky is obviously in a lot better place now. You know, CaolanG knows what he's doing. He's got his player into a scoring position before making the pickup. That's just a push. Now, Will has a choice here. Well, yeah, probably he'll blitz Becky, the scoring threat, and then he'll try and pick it up. If he fails to pick it up, now Jacintha is also in range. So it's tricky. It's tricky. Safe moves first, but there aren't
any safe moves left, I think.
There are a few, but it's you've kind of got to decide what you want to do before you make the safe moves. It is looking difficult for the Dark Elf drive.
It is indeed. And that, well, the ones earlier were irritating. That one could be game changing, where it's failure to pick up that, especially since you had to use a reroll earlier in the half. Is he out of them? He was out of them. So unfortunate for them, but he looked like he's trying to force CaolanG to roll more ones by blocking, by spacing just Becky. But I don't think Becky in the tackle zone is 3+ to catch. So the real threat now is just Jacintha, which is, what's the thing? 1 or 2+ to go for it. And a blitz here, sidestep onto the ball, maybe? No. But does put an extra tackle zone on it, so that is interesting. It's a very tense moment, and all things have gone quiet here in the Hippodrome, I suppose. Not call that, but would you call the Elves hippos? Sometimes when we're feeling kind.
Yeah, so I was just talking in chat there. There is literally nothing that I can do about the stream quality. I've changed no settings from the last stream, which went much better. Settings exactly the same, and it's 10 times worse. So it does seem to be absolutely to do with my internet and network. As to why, only Vodafone know. I don't know yet.
They probably have some elf bias and don't like the fact that I keep insulting them. That was an interesting dodge. So that could
It's
be
a
it
3
as
up.
well. He had no rerolls, so it freed up a wrestle piece who could have run up, grabbed the AG4, strength 5, put him down, had the elf pick up the ball, hand it off, and then straight up go for it if he had failed that. Makes it better overall for him, but it was if he had failed that dodge, it made the elves in a much better position. I don't believe he had a reroll. That is an unfortunate block as CaolanG now.
Yes, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to roll a lot of dice.
You will have to roll a lot of dice. I don't think there's any other piece around. The unfortunate here is Jacinta's frenzy is playing against her. As she could knock one of the elves out. One of the pushback all he really needs.
No, she can't. She can't do anything like that because she'll have to do a handoff or a pass.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't think. No, I'm not sure. I don't think you can hand off after a blitz.
I don't think so.
I know you can't pass.
Thing are mutually exclusive, so this is me not knowing.
I'm going to assume that you can't do a handoff after a blitz, which means that really all she can really do is dodge out, dodge in, pick up the ball in 2 tackle zones, dodge out again, and come and hand off in 2 tackle zones. It's okay. So the blitz comes in here. Okay, so that's one. It's not okay. You can wrestle them down. So that is one less tackle zone, which is a big difference. Yeah, the handoff. Psycho's confirming no handoff after blitz. So the handoff into 2 tackle zones on the edge, and it's kind of the wrong way around. Okay, so handoff here. Okay, and now he's just going to roll it, run it in, and it's just one GFI, and there's the tripwire.
There. Oh, I'm stunned. That is very.
It doesn't really make any difference because that was the last. The orcs can play well.
I don't think the orcs have a scoring
trip. Go? Not
CaolanG.
Not in danger, but that's grim. That is grim.
Yeah.
Tripwire. After an awful lot of work to make that happen.
Fair to say that CaolanG has been diced in this one at this point.
There's another half.
It's not so much that he didn't get an unfair amount of ones. It's just when they happen, I believe.
Yeah. Well, the orcs get to try to do a little more removal. Now that is one thing that is true. Obviously, Donnie's been removed. That's a big, important piece. The knockout rolls important. Tripwire on the end zone there, Chivite. So no score for CaolanG.
After quite a bit of work to get it into the touchdown end zone, 1 kind of messed him up, which is
no, he didn't have a reroll. It was just a 1.
The orcs will be full. Have almost a full team with a goblin on the pitch, so 11 players technically. You can call a goblin a player. For the next half, and the orcs just looking to beat elves to make it even easier for them. The numbers might come back, but this might go into 2 halves depending on thing. But I can't say it's looking well for the elves at the moment.
So second half, obviously, CaolanG is going to have the disadvantage, but there's another factor here, which is that the orcs are going to have to progress. They're going to be up against a pretty full team. The witch elves can cause even good cages problems. The edge. The strength up, I should say. It's the edge has got the leap. I always forget. Hang on. Where are they? Oh, there's the foul on the witch elf. Nothing.
Not so lucky this time. Yeah, I think that's it for the
Oh
orcs.
yeah, of
They should
course,
be
it's in the
well
end
pleased
zone.
with that half.
I couldn't find the other witch elf. It was asleep in the end zone. I wasn't expecting to find players up there. So knockout rolls. Oh, fails them both. That's going to make a big difference.
That will. That does hurt. He needed those players on the pitch. The orcs are going to win the attrition game, and he needed 2 more players for it.
Well, as I was saying, he has leap on this Edge 5 witch elf. He has no guard because Raph, his guard is out. He has both his blitzers with guard are out. That does make the cage breaking significantly more risky. So I don't think he's going to be feeling very lucky at the moment.
No, but he will. He does have the experience, and he has played against some pretty.
And Civite is making the point that he will have the final. He will have the final turn of this half, which means there is a reasonable chance for him to bring it back up to 1-1 and go into overtime and try to win the roll and do a quick score like that. That can absolutely happen. He needs to have 7 elves on the pitch to do the 1 turn. So against rowdy orcs. Yeah. Civite saying, given it is rowdy orcs and you need to have the 7 elves to do the 1 turn. Can he be very defensive? That's it. He does need the 7, and he has 9, so he doesn't have a huge amount of room for maneuver.
He has the odds of the 2 KO. At least one of the KOs coming back, so you could play into that as a 50-50.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So the orc shouldn't feel too comfortable here. If he fails to do much damage on the line of scrimmage on his 4 blocks here, the elves could just run away, play for the 1 turner. I don't think CaolanG will do that, but it's an option where he's just trying to serve his team for a 1 turn chance. The orcs setting up to try and obliterate some elves. 2 catchers in the back with kickoff return, I believe. So, leader reroll, high agility, high strength. Ball carrier is probably going to end up with the strength 4, agility 4. Quick snap playing into the orc's hands. And a ball landing very possibly for a touchback.
Yeah.
And the orcs have a full team without a goblin. I am delighted to see that. No one wants to see a goblin play. Not even goblins. They're usually only on the pitch by accident. It looks like Will is setting up for it in the cage and just trying to ground his way up. Move the orcs into position to stop the elves from rushing his ball carrier. Ball landed pretty safely. CaolanG might be reasonably happy with that. 2 bad dice rolls will give him the chance to at least try and put pressure on the ball to score this half, which will even the game. But I still think it's in favour of the orc at the moment. Was that an injury from a foul, or was that a KO from a foul? At least 1 piece taken off anyway from a foul and private not.
The foul earlier?
Yes, I think it was a KO, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just a KO. The fouls haven't been, in general, the fouls haven't been too damaging. Will does still have his bribe, so he can be pretty aggressive with them. I would imagine there'll probably be one coming in, even if it's just one of these linemen.
All's Lil about to get
Couple of stuns on the line of scrimmage. It's a tricky one. We're talking about running away with the elves. It does leave these certainly the stunned guys are going to get fouled, and a lot.
Well, you didn't go onto a blood cold pitch as an elf not to be fouled, as he is going for a lot of blocks here before trying to secure the ball, which is probably the right move in his current position. If the more elves down, the harder it is for them to break the cage, and if he can even put down 3, he's in a really good chance to score without the ability for CaolanG to return.
If Will does get overly caught up with fouling and it's probably just a lineman, isn't it? That's right. If Will does get, which he kind of has, he's really gone all in on trying to remove this lineman. Chavite's making the point now that the ball is in the backfield. There is a sure hands orc who does pick it up. Now, there's an option here of, as Chavite is saying, the slightly vanity pass.
But that wasn't a handoff, that was a pass.
Yes. It was a 2+ pass. So look, I mean, he is accurate. Nonetheless, and the pass skill. If I'm not, yes, he has pass and accurate. So it's pretty good, but it's still a dice roll. Getting as much of the Dark Elf team into this area here, pretty good split of the Orc team.
As long as the Dark Elves don't stay in contact with the Orc team, yes. They are running out of elves to throw under the Orcs, as it were. But even putting a bit of pressure on the ball carrier is probably not the worst idea in the world. As
does get the power, doesn't go through the middle. Perhaps a little worried about the risk of it not working. Still achieving the goal of claiming the midfield.
That stun is pretty useful for CaolanG, as that orc is not capable of standing up. As I believe that is Becky, whose strength 4 requires at least either a black orc with support, patrol if you want to waste your blitz, or friends helping to help me put her down. As you said, pretty much CaolanG is putting his elf team between the orcs and the ball carrier, and hoping to make it ask questions of Will, and hopefully he gets the wrong answers in this particular test. At least from CaolanG's point of view. I hope the orcs just smush elves, which they've been doing, mostly through fouling, which is not mostly through fouling, but half of them have been through fouling, which isn't the orky way, but I'll accept it, because it's elves. He did use his blitz. Where do you think Jacinta is going to go, or where should she go? I reckon she should be in the middle pitch on the right, to deliver reasonably safe from being pucked, but movement there to actually go and help someone put down the current ball carrier.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if I was going to guess, I'd say he'll be somewhere around the side on the right here, possibly based, or no, not based with the edge, but, the obvious, that's where the obvious. Now he might want to regain with his orcs in the center. So Will's got an interesting choice here now. He'd probably just base.
Yeah. Like, I don't think he has too many other options apart from that. He
It's
does
just
like
not
he
very
doesn't.
effective base spacing against elves, right? Will
Also,
he? With the bribe, he's probably going to foul first or early. Um, Not many. Takes away 1 assist on the foul. Maybe he's made
actually,
the calculation that even with the bribe, a foul is just a bit too risky for not much value.
that piece 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could also was it subby could be put in front of the Becky and Mickey, making Kalon roll dice he might not want to. 2, 3, 4, 5 with one go for it. Thought he was moving 6 for a second, so that was me wrong. Get used to that, chat. I will be wrong many times, and I don't care. Nope, he moved the G4 across there. With the exact position I thought he'd put the dirty player, but actually the better move by the better orc coach. As he's going into the center himself, where his team is at its strength as he consolidates the whole lot. So this basically means that Kalon has this next turn to hit the orcs so that he can. Interesting.
And this is where having
Now
a
he had a
strength 4 thrower really becomes really powerful, because random, you don't necessarily need to protect him as vigorously as with a full cage. Makes the pass anyway. Oh, and that is rejoining the mass of orcs in the center, leaving now it's the Dark Elves who feel somewhat out of position, having made a push, but not done enough to really cut off the orcs. Yeah, Chivite, his crystal ball gazing has proven to be accurate once again. I think there is the danger, if the Dark Elf had moved over to that position, that he may have been just pushed down the side. But you're right, this is the optimal for the orc, so you should cut off the optimal.
This is the crystal ball gazing is generally Chivite just being good at the game. So good at that, Chivite. Congratulations on being good. Not much else to say about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, there is a question here as to, now that he's blitzed here, I mean, I guess he can move back a little.
Stun was big.
Mighty Blow gets the stun. Well, Mighty Blow breaks the armor.
5, 6, 7, that's not getting around there.
Yeah, he's gonna... He doesn't need to worry about this stun anymore. These guys are down on the floor. They only have movement 6, so a partial cage pocket should be enough. Yeah. Just squeezing the last move in on the final second or two.
Interesting questions asked Kalon as the orcs play a reasonably good game of spreading out and punching elves. Have another look at their damage. Only 4 elves down, not really enough if you don't include the guy who's stunned on the pitch. But I genuinely can't see how Kalon's going to he should put pressure on the ball to try and force it to score early, but I can't see how he's going to do that and not risk his team being smushed.
He can't care about his team being smushed. So this is where we probably need to see some big, the early score. I mean, if he can pressure on enough that he has to run it in, he can't, he is already in the end area. We need to have some successful dodges to get that pressure.
Kalon hasn't been too good with his dodges. He might be a bit antsy about doing it. But
That's
you're
right.
right.
Mikey's got a 2+ dodge away. Now, there's no tackle on him. A 2+ dodge away with a GFI is only going to be 1 dice unless he can get an assist. Well, he's got the leap. Has this got guard? That's got guard. 2 guards on this side.
Yeah, the lack of the 2 guards of Caolan is really hurting him here.
Yeah.
He's struggling to find the strength necessary to break this cage, as you said at the start, actually. Though he is making a fair go of it.
Just, his single dice rolls have been very disappointing. He's chosen. He knew that he needed that, and he had to try it. I was just thinking, is there a way to get the leap in for an assist? But I don't think there was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't use leap very often, so I'm not quite sure. He'd have needed to be here after the leap. Yeah, I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leap in. You know, if there was a way, I don't know.
Yeah, that was. I do think that was the right play to re-roll that. It was always going to be a risk, and that pause.
Well, he had to. I mean, that was the critical dice. It was just, unfortunately, a lot riding on that dice. Every time there's been a lot riding on a single dice. Not every time. It feels like some critical single dice for Caolan have been rough. His blocking in general hasn't been too bad. But
it's his dodging and picking up the ball has cost him, which is surprising since they're elves. But while his blocking has been good, it's not been good. It's been not, as you said, the ones that the ones like he had, like his blocking haven't been too bad. There's been no critical blocks apart from that one, which have been terrible, and that was a 1 in 6, and it was also a 1 in 6 to hit a POW, which would have been nice for him.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, obviously he should have just accepted that's the push. He had the 1 dice, and a push isn't terrible, and would have meant more pressure.
Hindsight is 2020 though. If he was gotten that POW, it was thing or another push. The odds were against him getting the skull. Why defending else? He should have. Happy he was down. My mistake. I apologize, listeners. I was suddenly overtaken by a fleet of compassion for the elf player, and I apologize to all listening for that. As the orcs are consolidating their pretty strong cage and Caolans have with many turns to try and score.
The danger here as well is that he can make a pretty strong cage, or compact grouping and stall it out. And the bribe assisted dirty player foul comes in, double on the injury. Bribe is accepted, is at least gone, but that is the 3rd removed permanently elf. 2 knockouts. Do we have 7 on the pitch? 1, 2, let's assume both knockouts come back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because there is a witch elf hiding in the middle here.
Surrounded by the troll and 3 others. Yeah, she looks like she's about to come. No, troll not taking the risk.
No, I mean the troll is doing what it needs to do there. She does have a diagonal dodge, but it's not great. I mean, it's an elf. Probably work.
Not tonight. Not the way Caolan is rolling, but that cage looks pretty impenetrable at the moment with the positioning of the stand firm guard. Blitzer on the flank, the strength 4, agility 4, blodging. Thor, and just black orcs, all around the other side. Caolan has not been able to take advantage of Big Papa's 2 lack of aiming skills, as he is desperately trying to take the ball back. So he's probably wondering why the orcs are holding on to it so long, and he's probably not used to them doing that. Usually his job. But it will be extraordinarily difficult for Caolan to pick this cage apart, and even get a chance at getting the ball carrier down. But giving it to the dirty player wrestle piece is interesting. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Do you think Caolan is going to put elves in front of the cage? Oh, another one. Team reroll, I believe. Yep, another double one. Caolan's dodges are not being his friend tonight.
No. Burning through rerolls to little effect.
Yep. I don't think that was a bad call to make that reroll. I just think Caolan was unlucky not to make it. So it is up to the orcs to take advantage of this, and they are going to try. So it looks like Will doesn't believe that bad dice can happen to him at any point with that particular one. And so far he is being proven right.
Yeah, slow and steady is winning a race. It is getting more and more hard. At some point soon, there may have to be a tactical withdrawal. Let the orcs score, and you're just relying on the one turn. Tricky though. I mean, if he keeps rolling snakes on dodges, he's not going to be able to get away. The bribe being gone is big, but he'll probably bribe some. He'll probably still foul some more. He's got he's got 5 turns. He is stalling now. Fouling is fine. He can absolutely afford to lose one of these linemen, I believe. I think he's got to wrestle. The dirty player guy. I mean, if he gets sent off, he gets sent off.
The only issue there is the dirty player has the ball, so then you have to pick it up. But I don't think that's that big a deal with an AG4 reroll built in. It's just the only question would be what elf, as Caolan is quickly running out of them at the moment. So some of his best pieces are still on the pitch. I believe is Ralph out? I believe he was first to go. No, he wasn't. Ralph is still there. Or he's hiding. Oh, KO, that is probably Caolan's signal to try to stop, try to not stop the orcs from scoring and run his team away for preservation for the one turn.
Yeah, I mean there are
hope for the KOs.
Depending on what he does, I guess he'll move this back. Oh yeah, of course. He comes in for the blitz, gets the pow on the blodge, gets the armor break. He's off the pitch. There won't be. I don't think we're going to be seeing any sacking of the ball. It's going to be very difficult at this point, and Caolan is going to have to roll very hot on his KO rolls to have enough elves for the one turn, which is disappointing from an elf perspective.
From an elf's perspective, but from everyone else's perspective who's right thinking, it's quite good. Though in fairness, it was a lot of ones and a lot of dodges. It's definitely what's giving Will this game, as his punching has been subpar until this particular turn.
Yeah.
What, 2 KOs?
Yeah. Well,
KOs
I mean, yeah. Dark. They were obviously massively outguarded, and out strength because of the strength ups and the troll. So it's tough. It's tough to try to go toe to toe and get all those blocks. Psycho Works recommending the let's see the bribes, the fouls keep coming, and no problem for him. Psycho Works calling out the Big Popper touchdown.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, I mean, important for the cup equity. Bit of a flex.
At this point, I wouldn't really call it a flex. It would be more the right play. He's got a he rolls for the catch. He can surround where the ball would fall with a lot of orcs. I can't see the elves who are on the ground getting up to get it. It would require absolutely amazing dice for CaolanG to stop the orcs if he sets it up correctly. But 3 elves on the pitch can score. 2 elves on the pitch can score from quite a distance back. So
I just realised that I was watching it the wrong way round all this time. I've been very bad at putting the pitch on the drive, but we're on the drive now.
The right way round, wrong way round. You're looking from the orcs' perspective, if it's their drive?
Yeah, so we're now looking from the orcs' perspective since they've got the ball and they're driving. And it is their drive. It should have... the camera should have been this way round the whole turn. I just keep forgetting.
It's okay. I'll forgive you, even if chat hates you personally. I wouldn't listen to them. I don't. It's great.
You get used to it after 30 seconds. the camera has changed round.
He's not going for the touchdown. He might not have thought of it.
Oh no, he's not going to score until turn 16.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. There's still 3 turns of pummeling elves.
Yeah. And also, if you give Dark Elves a 2-turn, that is a big risk because they don't need 7 Dark Elves to get a 2-turn. They can do that with 4, and a bit of luck. Yeah. But it's absolutely in the wheelhouse. No, so they'll stall this out. They'll presumably foul with the dirty player until he gets sent off. See what removals he can get. Pretty tough playing in these conditions. I am terrible at these sort of situations. You've got to hang in there. You've got to think, well, look, there might come a 5%, 10% chance later on.
Yeah, especially in the cup, you have to play to win, despite the odds, and the odds are very much stacked against CaolanG at the moment. His prize witch elf Becky is getting fouled. Coming up for more fouling going on. He is... Oh, there's 2 down there. So the flying arc has a choice of 2. We'll probably go Archer Becky as the ball carrier runs closer towards the end of the pitch. Just to make sure. But it is unlikely that the elves can stop him scoring. He's pretty much reliant on Nuffle doing very, very bad things to the orcs, and Nuffle loves orcs, as we all know.
Oh, well, he won't need to roll any dice to score. So even Nuffle is not not a worry. He hasn't made a big effort to bring Big Popper down for the score. Possibly that is not planning ahead. I mean, he has 4 turns, so it's fine. And the elf that was on him is stunned, so still there.
Big Popper will take 3 turns to get it,
which is fine. Well, it's you really want to have 2 turns of him dropping the handoff.
Yeah.
So it's not great. Oh, the troll is down. Oh,
And
the
he
troll.
KO'd the troll.
Yeah,
A good last minute gasp from the angry elves.
KO on a troll is nice as well because there's no chance of the regen to put them back on the sub bench. So maybe they fail the KO. That's going to make the one turn a little easier.
Yep.
I think.
I think CaolanG's thinking that as well, as his team is beginning to, what's left of his team on the pitch are falling back from the mighty wall of orcs. If he wants Papa to score, Big Papa to score, he has to move him back now, and then surround him with orcs when he pops the ball.
Big Papa is on 3 SPP, so touchdown is all he needs, which does make it very tempting. I mean, I think he can get there in 2 with 2 GFIs?
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it personally. I think he should have done it earlier.
Well, he can do 1 GFI on this turn. He's got a reroll. He's got 4 rerolls. And then next turn he can do 1 reroll with GFI with a reroll. You know, those are good odds. And then he's got a turn to. He's got 2 attempts.
He's got 3 turns left.
If he can make both GFIs the first turn. Anyway, I mean, you don't want to hand it to him in the end zone. Yeah. Yeah, me too, Chivite. I would do the GFIs.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with doing the GFIs, but I'm not sure.
It doesn't look like he's thinking about it at all.
No, that's the issue.
Which is fine, you know.
It could be before the game that Big Papa wrote in his contract that he's not going to be forced to score any touchdowns, though it looks like he already has one. And will only get it through MVPs or beating people into the ground.
No, Big Papa not going to the end zone. Relying entirely on knockout on injuries, and maybe he gets the MVP, right?
Yeah, if you want to win the cup, I think the touchdown with Big Papa is the right play. If you want to play as an orc, I think running towards the elves is definitely the right play. So yeah, elf has Russell and a reroll, a greed reroll, but it's not really that greedy when there's only 3 turns left and you have twice the amount of elves on the pitch. You're just trying to hurt them. Actually, it is not even a greed reroll because there's only 3 turns left.
It was pro.
4 rerolls.
It was a pro reroll.
Even a pro reroll. So what the hell am I talking about? It is fine.
Pro rerolls always look a bit confusing when you're spectating.
Yeah. As a semi-unprofessional caster, I should really pay attention to the skills on the orc who's rolling the dice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the dice log is normally the easiest way to see it, to be honest.
It is indeed. But that required me interfacing with the UI.
Well, yes, it just appeared at the bottom when you look. That's true as well. There's a little bell noise, but I have the audio on the game pretty low.
And I have it turned off.
Everything is all pushes. When it rains, it pours.
It
is not giving any joy whatsoever to the bashy elves, who have proven to be not very bashy and not very elfy, which is a bad combination when you're up against a team as scary in terms of its stat ups and skill ups, and lucky because it's Will Walsh, as chat have noted a few times. He does appear to be blessed. I have to assume it's making up for some deficit of character.
You make your own luck, and in this way, the casualty box is the real winner here with 3-3, 3-4 to 1-1. Well, one of them is a troll. He is not the brightest, so no one particularly minds as he's not a orc. But another one dice roll gets a POW.
It was 2 dice.
Yeah, sorry. What I meant is that CaolanG rolled 6 dice last turn and got pushes. He rolled once and got a POW.
Yeah. Look, It'll
We're
be
calculating
interesting.
about
Caolan, hopefully, he may choose not to join us. I'm sure he will, since he understands that you win and you lose. Mainly, I lose. So, so I should say I mainly lose. Becky injured.
Sure.
Now that he has to. Well, that's a badly hurt that he has to Apo. Yeah. That is good that was badly hurt, so he could Apo it, because he needed her for the potential one turn.
Yes.
Yeah, the dice. That's true. Dice vary. There have only been small periods during the game when they've gone in CaolanG's way. Obviously.
Again,
it's not GG.
So much
it's not GG yet. The one turn may bring us to overtime.
It's not so much that the dice have been unfair. It's just that at very critical points they.
Yeah.
He rolled a 1 when he tried to pick up the ball. When he's just had a rerolls, he rolled a 1. He's failed 3 dodges on a double 1, as far as I recall, at least.
Yeah, there's certainly been 2. I think 3 snakes.
So it's.
I think that here's my prediction though. I suspect Caolan will be more focused on the positional and ordering choices that he made. I'm not going to say mistakes because, he knows what he's doing. But it's you do a risk reward thing, right? And I think he played risky, and the dice did not help him. Because he had to play risky.
He had to play risky, yeah. But a lot of his plays, I don't think, were too risky up until midway through the second half when he was forced to outnumbered by words.
Well, that's it. Tripwire at the end of the first half, absolute nightmare. It's a sub because it was an Apoed badly hurt.
Yeah.
That's the movement 7. Where's the movement 8? Is it down on the floor? Oh no! It's KO'd. It's KO'd. Yeah. So he needs to roll real hot on his KO rolls. Just to even, as Psycho says, even just to have the chance. Not having luck for the entire game doesn't mean you will have terrible luck at the end of it. So we'll just have to see.
As Caolan likes to say, he doesn't like to blame the dice for losing games, so he will look back at this with critical eye at his own play, which is fair.
But even I'm sure he'll recognise that the dice did not help his style, his choices. Oh well, it doesn't. It does matter. It does matter. He needs bodies for the one turn. So I wouldn't take that bet, Psycho. If he gets 4 back, that's 5 there, 6, 7, 8. He has the number. He has to get so many of these KO rolls. Sorry, camera not being very good. He needs. Okay, so he's got 1 sub back, and he's got 3 on the pitch. I'm just counting. Okay, well we'll see now anyway. We'll see.
He needs a minimum of 3.
Who?
If it's 7, he needs minimum 3 back. He got 2. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough.
That's 6. One of them.
He didn't get the move 8. He didn't get the move 8, so that's kind of done.
Yeah. At the end of this, I would like to thank our sponsors. So if anyone wants to sponsor us, I will thank them for it. Special thanks to the viewers who came on listening to my nonsense and I haven't been responding to because I can't actually see chat. So sorry about that. And thanks to my co-host who hosted it, set it up, and has been doing this.
We haven't seen the kickoff. We haven't seen the kickoff event yet. It could be a riot.
Right would be good.
Yeah, so we shouldn't say goodbye quite yet.
Yeah, well, I'm playing the odds here. It could be a blitz as well.
No, because there could be an Orblix, yes.
Yeah.
Which certainly
So
would
you
be
are
the
right.
end of the game.
I am. I know this is a sort of situation where Nova will just want to point and laugh at me and go, "Here is a blitz," and Caolan is back in the game. So you're quite right.
Well, if it's a blitz, it's only the Orcs. The
Yeah, I know
attacking
it's the
team
Orcs,
can't
but
get a blitz. They can.
If it's a riot,
Yeah, if it's a riot, and then it's still a nightmare because there's 5 elves, 6 elves. There's 6 elves,
6 hours,
and a lot of Orcs. But there's definitely. I mean, you could go down the sideline.
well, you just have to take that. Caolan is considering his options here. I think he has to set up for the blitz.
The riot.
No, for the riot. Sorry, if he sets up for the blitz, everything has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah,
Caolan is probably thinking, "I'll set up for the riot," unlike what I'm saying, which is he should set up for the blitz, because it's the only. I think is that the only event that will save him at this point.
Correct.
There's no other way that will get him.
No, no, he just needs another turn. So I'm, I expect that he'll deploy pretty far forward, see what happens. Well, he needs to leave one player back to collect the ball.
Probably the unskilled lineman is being, as everyone else probably needed to move forward.
He may also be chatting in the client.
There is that.
Just because he'll know that his odds now are pretty poor.
Yeah. Though I am satisfied with the result of this game. It has been quite nice to see the elves getting their comeuppance, and only one injured orc and one throw. Not too bad a result. Though we are unfortunate that the goblin is on the pitch as he brings the whole tone of the game down. As Caolan is setting up. There's not much else he can do here. Yeah, he's setting up on the right. I think he is setting up for the right.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 sideline options. The other doesn't have the black orc, but it does have the stand firm.
And it's the stand firm would be the worst one, because you can wrestle the black orc out of the way or push him out of the way 2 dice off kill. Caolan's never scared of that.
Yeah, I mean,
that will slow you down.
Yeah, nothing's particularly great.
No. There's no good options, there's just less bad ones.
Yeah.
And it's an extra reroll, I believe. During ban,
yep.
so
that is the GG, I think.
Now it's just the question: is Caolan going to be the vindictive dark elf and actually try to kill his opponent's pieces?
I expect he'll take a couple of blocks. He might even do a pass just to show off.
Can I finish my outro now, chat? Because it's
yeah. You can say goodbye now. But I will say Caolan is going to join us for a conversation shortly.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's.
You can if you've got stuff to do. I don't mind if you've got to run off.
No, I don't. I was just commenting on the fact that Caolan failed to pick up the ball on his first dice roll. That was all.
Yeah. Pretty much the story of it. Yes, it's a snake. I think the fourth snake. I'm not sure. To pretty much say how that went. He does get the MVP on Big Popper too. He is such a lucky dog. What a lucky dog. It is hard to understate how lucky that is, given his complete ignorance of the opportunity to go score and then he gets the MVP. Well, on that note, I should say congratulations to Will.
Yes.
He knew what he was doing. He didn't make mistakes. He stayed focused.
He played the game that was in front of him, and he took advantage of the opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And
whatever else you want to say
with a leveled up Black Orc, which is most likely block. I've never had the chance to play Will. No, he's in a lucky division. He's the division where the people who rolled good dice are. I am in a lower division where people have bad dice. No skill involved. No skill involved.
Yeah. There's absolutely no skill involved in this game. It's all about dice rolls. There's nothing else there. I am looking at the dice, which is bad habit, and I need to stop doing that after it. But Caolan rolled 42 ones, and but he also rolled 46 fives. So that could also be on armor rolls and whatnot. Just
absolutely. Please don't mention the dice logs. It's only going to derail the conversation. They're useless, the dice logs. There possibly is a way of coding the algorithm to represent effectiveness, but Cyanide are absolutely incapable of doing that.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, Caolan.
How are you?
Man, I would give you a big old hug if I could.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. Not gonna lie. Good old snakes at the end, just to rub it in.
It was the story of the day, and
these things happen. It's Blood Bowl. You roll ones. Playing elves, you play one, you roll ones. They happen. Would have been nice to get through a turn without having rolled a one, but it's just the way it was. So well done to Willie. He did well. Kept the pressure on. Did all the right things, and best of luck to him in the final, in the semis, I should say.
The semis, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, man. We were saying how we knew that you weren't gonna come and launch into a diatribe about dice because it's not. But it really did feel like there was a big swing from fairly early on. I mean, the tripwire at the end of the 8th. What a fucking load of bullshit.
I was out of rerolls so early as well, and these things happen. It would have been nice to. Some other stuff did come off, so bear in mind that I did manage to get down as. I did manage to pick that ball up on a tree and get the handoff into a tackle zone. I knew it was.
Well, that was the sad part about it. We called out on VOD that you've made a lot of work and a lot of dice to get that opportunity, and then of course the 0 reroll tripwire just to rub it in, close.
It's the nature of the game. Obviously it's always difficult when you're playing a decent opponent, but when it's just not your day, it's just not your day. So I suppose you just have to. The tendency is to get very salty about stuff like this, and I don't think it does anything for you. I think I played a good game. I think I did most of the right decisions. I'll go through it again and see if I made some poor choices in places. But my risk management was pretty good. I knew the dice were just not working for me. So I was doing stuff as in a way to give me an out. By the halfway through the second half and the way he was after positioning, I knew that the only real hope I had was to get the one turn. And not only did I snake the pickup, but I was one person short.
And one of those one person short was your movement 8 blitzer. No, witch elf.
The witch elf. Yeah, who didn't wake up. If she was on, I would have. I actually had because I was one shy with the agility blitzer. So if she had been on, she would have been the right person to go as well. And she would have been in. So she was there.
She would have been able to watch you snake the pickup. And
well, I would have been able to even if it was just another Jimmy, I would have actually had the fourth push I needed. So these things happen.
Yeah, I think I'll tell you now. The big conversation piece in chat, at least, was the 1D block from the Witch Elf coming through around the back of the cage. The reroll from a push into a skull. Not
it wasn't the Witch Elf. It was just a blitzer.
Right.
But, it was a marginal call. That guy has wrestle. So I need it's a 4-up. Push, fair enough. I mean, really.
I know.
I rolled a skull, right? So I should have known with the way the rest of the game was going that likelihood is it was going to be a 1. But it was a 2+ was successful. I was happy to throw the reroll in because it would have been such a big deal to get the ball down there. And I felt like I was up against it, and that was the opportunity I had. I mean, it was also, I mean, leaving the dice on was kind of poor in any way because it was a 2+ dodge back. He failed the dodge. Thanks, dodge kicked in. But this was after he did the double GFI throw as well onto the guy. So it was all just kind of funny. I was like, no, look, it's the second half. Come on, what are the likelihoods I really won? It's 1 in 6. This is fine. So I can give myself some grief afterwards about it, but at the time I thought it was the right play.
I think it was a decent play. It wasn't a wrong play. There was some conversation about ordering. Should you have tried to put more pressure on that cage?
No, because the rest of the guys need to react whether or not I've.
Yeah, that was the choice part, right? That was the choice part.
I mean, I did bring the Witch all the way down to help block his forward progress. And I had stood up one of the guys in base to hold up some other guys. But I needed to. I mean, it's all well and good getting the ball on the ground, but he just picks it up again. So there's no reason to move the Witch Elf until I work out where the ball is, how it's gone, etc. So I understand, and if I was mentoring somebody in Cobra Die and they did stuff like that, I'd be like, well, you didn't pick up any of your pieces. But there's, I know what I was doing. I knew the risk of what it was going to happen on the skull, and I think that the right decision was to not bring everybody down and crowd in, because if you bring everybody down and crowd in and then you get the ball on the ground, you've got nothing to do with it. So that was the thought process behind it. I understand why people would question it. But,
and I think that was the conversation was different choices. There's nobody's thinking, oh, you've missed the options.
Yeah, sure.
It's always just different choices.
Definitely.
And look, the Lucker dogs always say, "Oh well, do it last, right? Because then you can react." So Jetty Bear, obviously famous famous high roller, agrees. Now, in your situation where not high rolling, I think it's fair to say, it didn't work out. Well,
it didn't work, but I mean, if it was exactly the same situation, I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great that you have one bit that you can call me the task on, but yes, that may be questionable. So I agree with that. I think the rest of the game was pretty solid.
Yeah,
and if it comes down to one little, I wasn't sure about this, then I'm fine with that.
Everybody's a critic, but that's half the fun of doing these streams live. And thankfully, people, it was another fucking awful night for my network. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So some people were. I did send a link to another Discord they were in, and they said that they just, because I'm in another game, I'm in another league with Willie.
Yeah.
And I said, lads, this is where we're playing, and they were unable to watch it, unfortunately, so they had to watch it in client.
No, I don't know. Anyway, we will talk about that some other time.
Are you still streaming? Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Sorry, I thought you knew that we were streaming the chat after. I should have said.
I gathered you were, but it's not. I can't see it on the. It's not in Discord. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Because we thought perhaps not streaming it. Just anyway, look, that's behind the scenes stuff. So very quickly, just to have a look at Will's team, he got this Lucker Dog MVP on his Big Popper after we were.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
We were grilling him pretty hard in chat for not making the effort to score.
Yeah, I had no idea why he didn't bring that guy to score.
Because he knew that he was going to get an MVP. He was just like, I'm lucky.
Half the pitch, and he didn't bring that guy down to look at it. Nice. Was a nice hit on the tackle guy. that was nice to be able to get the big frenzy lad out.
Yeah.
And he was quite a bit of a problem. Unfortunately, it happened too late for it to be of any use.
Yeah. Now he
And
does
I did
have.
manage to get the troll out as well. But
He
not
does
not-
have the missing next game Blitzer, who he.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to justify bringing strength for. He can't bring in a fresh one in.
What,
just
fire
to-
and higher? No way. No,
No.
not at all. So he, I mean, if you notice looking at his team, he only has 3 blackworks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he needs another blackwork. If he's
Yeah.
going to buy something, this would be the time to do it because he's got money thanks to the game. Going in with a rookie blackwork is significantly better than going in with nothing.
Yeah.
And he's got the room on his roster for it. So no, I would definitely wouldn't get rid of that guy. That guy's amazing,
Yeah.
and he'll be of super use. Should he get through the next game?
Yeah. He's going to be back for the final, right?
Should he manage to
he?
get through either Jetty or Scrofula?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is going to be an absolute cracker. I'm really looking forward to that game.
All right, man. Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, it's Blood Bowl. I mean, it would be silly for me to say that I'm not a little bit disappointed. I had a very nice season. Thought I had the better of this game, but it just wasn't to be, and that's fine. These things happen. It's Blood Bowl, baby. Woo!
Yeah, we'll focus on the commentating for the rest of the tournament because there's quite a few games to come. Some of them, well, actually, to be fair, all of them looking really, really interesting.
Yeah, big time. I'm really excited about the games that we're going to be able to get a chance to commentate on. And I'm going to be able to, after the best of the rest, if that stupid goblin arrives, I've got first dibs on killing him. Isn't that right, David?
You have, yes, you do. That depends actually if Fiki gets a chance to punch him during.
Oh, because you actually might play face Fiki in the best of the rest. Yeah.
So
yeah,
if
that's
I
fair.
face him in best of the rest, then yes, if he survives the cup, you get a chance. If he doesn't,
Well,
Fiki gets a go. Then it's you.
Yep.
Then it's Aiden. Then it's.
Why are you talking past me? I'm going to kill. Well, actually, yeah, for killing the goblin. I'm going to kill your whole team. And then I'm gonna leave the goblin alone. He'll be the only guy left on the pitch, and he'll be fine. I'll give him a hearty handshake.
Yeah, you'll get no money out of that, and you'll get lots and lots of tears from me at that point.
Yeah, well, that's worth it in its own way.
Yeah, I think you're giving him.
At that stage.
I think you're giving him a lot of incentive there.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap up the stream there.
Thanks so much for streaming. It's just dropped by everybody to see it. Thanks for commentating, Dave. And I'm gone.
Yeah.
CaolanG out. Bye-bye.
Cheerio. Night, Dave. Night, chat.
Night,
Thanks for everything.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.